Content creation is one of the coolest ways that you can kickstart an online business. Not only is it a fun and rewarding creative outlet for those of us who love ideas and information and writing and creating, but it can be extremely lucrative. Now, I've always been in love with the idea of creating something from nothing, and especially when that something is a business that pays me thousands of dollars a month to do exactly what I would be doing anyway if I were just sitting around at home with nothing to do. It's also incredibly easy to get started, and you have the option to create multiple streams of income after you get going. Now stick around because I'm going to walk you through exactly what a content creator is, who content creation is for, and how you can turn it into an actual business that generates 5, 10, or even 20K a month or more, and what those available income streams are. If you're new here, I'm Rachel Harrison's son, and I help online entrepreneurs make more money so they can live more life. If that is you, please go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified when I post one of these videos every single Monday. Content creation is the entire process of planning and researching and creating useful content for a specific audience in a relevant medium and on a relevant platform. This isn't about blogging, YouTubing, or podcasting as a hobby where you just kind of sit down and create whatever it is you feel like creating that day, not if you want to make money as a content creator anyway. Content creation is about creating intentional, purpose-driven content tailored to a specific group of people with the aim of building an audience and then leveraging that audience into revenue-producing income streams. You can create written, audio, or video content and share this content on a blog, a website, YouTube, or a number of social media platforms. Personally, I create video content for my YouTube channel, which then also gets repurposed in written format on my blog. So if you've been following me for a little while here on YouTube and you would like to actually see written versions of any of these videos, head on over to my blog and you will find them. So content creation is pretty well suited for anyone that loves research, writing, ideas, people that really enjoy expressing those ideas through creative mediums like writing, film, photography, design, or even speaking. Now, you may not love every one of those. They're not all prerequisites. So, for example, I've never really been one for public speaking, especially on camera, go figure. But I do love ideas, I love research, I love writing, and I love the creative process in general. So I think that the main prerequisites for being a successful content creator are a love of the creative process and a desire to turn this process into a profitable business. Now, content creation can also be ideal for those that want to generate passive income. So even though there is a lot of work involved, since you're no longer trading dollars for hours, you have the ability to step away from operations when you need to, and the systems that you've set up will continue to run in the background. So how do you turn content creation into a business? Content creation as a hobby is totally fine, but if your aim is to create a sustainable business from it, you're going to need to think strategically. You don't want to create content just for the sake of creating content. The aim of any successful content creator is to build a very specific audience, aka your ideal audience, which is made up of your ideal customers. So you'll want to create content that will attract your ideal audience while simultaneously repelling those who are not your ideal audience. Now, this might feel a little bit weird at first. Most of us do have a natural instinct to, want to please everyone. We all really just want to be liked by everyone, if possible. But bottom line is, if we attempt to speak to everyone, we end up speaking to no one. Now, once we begin building an audience, several income streams start to open up to us. So let's go ahead and talk about those magical income streams now. One way to earn income with content creation, if you decide to create content for YouTube, is through the YouTube Partner Program. The YouTube Partner Program is going to be available to you after you get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 public watch hours on your channel. So it's not immediate, but it doesn't really have to take much time to get there. Now, once you're into the YouTube Partner Program, you can start generating revenue through AdSense. Now, AdSense is ad revenue generated from display, overlay, and video ads that run on your channel. You can also generate income via your channel with channel memberships, super chat and super stickers, YouTube premium revenue, and the merch shelf. Now, AdSense was the first revenue stream that opened up to me after starting my YouTube channel. And for me, it's kind of the only one that really applies. Now, at this point, I make anywhere from about $1,500 to $2,000 per month US. Now, this obviously isn't an extreme windfall, but it's definitely meaningful. And as you'll see, having multiple income streams adds up to some pretty significant earnings. Now, another cool thing is that if I suddenly stop creating videos, which I did after my son was born in 2020, I'm still going to generate money from the videos that I've already posted. So between September 8th, 2020 and February 1st, 2021, that's almost 5 months, I didn't post a single video, but I still generated $2,000 from AdSense during that time. Now, that might not sound like much, but I was only making a few $100 a month on YouTube at that point. And, I was just extremely grateful to have that extra income while I got to spend some time with my new son. It's also kind of cool to think about what each video I've created has generated for me on average. So since starting my channel, I've created 102 videos and made $36,390 in total on the platform, which essentially means I've been paid about $364 per video on average. Obviously, some videos generate much more than that, and some videos generate much, much less. Now, considering it takes me like roughly 4 to 5 hours to create each video, that's not bad, especially since this isn't my main source of income. Now, if you're not on YouTube, advertising can still be a revenue stream for you if you have a blog, a website, or a podcast. It's just going to look a little bit different than what I've just explained. The next possible income stream, which I believe is probably the second one that I got in on as a content creator, is affiliate marketing. Now, affiliate marketing is essentially promoting relevant, useful products or services to your audience and getting a share of the revenue generated from each sale, usually in the neighborhood of around 40 or 50%. Now, unlike the YouTube Partner Program, there are no restrictions on when you can start. If you have even one person on your email list, you can start earning affiliate sales. Now, the main thing to keep in mind here is that the products or services that you choose to promote to your audience must be ones that you have used yourself and find valuable, and that you truly believe that your audience will find valuable as well. Trust between you and your audience is vital, and promoting crappy products that you're unfamiliar with and wouldn't use yourself is only going to erode the trust of your audience and make it unlikely that they'll trust you in the future. Now, currently I have 2 main affiliate partners, Creative Fabrica and Publisher Rocket. I've been using and loving their products for quite some time now, and I know that most members of my audience who use their products love them as well, so I am thrilled to promote them. Now, the main ways I promote Creative Fabrica and Publisher Rocket are through emails to my email list, as well as videos, usually in the form of tutorials on my channel. So in the last year, I've generated $29,000 from all my affiliate earnings, which combined with the $13,000 I made with AdSense last year, that's starting to add up nicely now, especially after it's been converted to Canadian dollars. Now, next up is my personal favorite digital products. This includes online courses, ebooks, workbooks, templates for things like Canva, presets for things like Lightroom, etc., etc. Most of you know I have a digital course, Low Content Profits Academy, where I teach people how to generate passive income creating and selling journals and planners and other types of low content books on the KDP platform. Now, by leveraging the audience that I'd built up over a 9-month period on YouTube, I was able to have a successful high 5-figure launch of my course. Now, without my YouTube audience, many of whom also became email list subscribers, there's just simply no way I would have had anyone at the ready interested in my course. So this is my favorite income stream for content creators because it really is your own. There's no restrictions, no caps, you can set your own prices, and the sky really is the limit here. Now, the content that you've been creating up until this point, it's free and it does exist pretty much solely to attract your ideal audience. And now you're creating premium content that your biggest fans are going to be happy to pay you for. Now, this revenue stream was by far my largest last year, bringing in well over 6 figures. Another way to earn income with content creation is through sponsorships and brand deals. So with sponsorships and brand deals, companies pay you money up front to promote one of their products on your blog, your YouTube channel, your podcast, or one of your social media accounts. Now, earnings from these deals can typically be anywhere from like $200 to like 20,000 plus bucks per post, depending on your audience size. Just like with affiliate marketing, it's really important to know, like, and trust the brands that you get into partnerships with so that you don't erode the trust of your audience. Now, this means you'll likely be turning down more partnerships than you accept. Once you start building an audience, you're going to start getting emails from all sorts of brands offering anything from just free products to big chunks of cash, like I just mentioned, and it's going to be important to be intentional about who you partner with. Now, this is a revenue stream that I actually don't currently have. I've been approached by a couple of brands here and there over the last few years. The products, though, they were either like really unrelated to my niche or ones I just didn't have any familiarity with and couldn't really get behind, so I ended up turning them down. So this is not one of my income streams yet. Now, finally, a few other possible income streams that are open to content creators: merchandise, private coaching, Patreon or paid memberships, live speaking even, grants, or PayPal donate link. Now, I don't personally have experience with any of those, so I can't really speak to them, but I know there are content creators out there that do generate revenue through those streams. So as you can see, the key to making 5, 10, or even 20K plus a month or more through content creation is by creating multiple revenue streams. At the end of the day, all add up to those big, beautiful numbers. Creating content just simply on its own isn't going to get you very far. So how do you get started as a content creator? It's probably a lot easier than you think. Now, the first step is to choose a niche. If you have a niche in mind, great. If not, don't worry. Just choose a broad field of interest that you enjoy creating content around, and then start creating content. And as you build an audience and start noticing what content best resonates with your audience, you can zero in on a more narrow niche. Now, second, get clear on who your ideal audience is and what they want. So to create relevant, valuable content for your fledgling audience, you're going to need to know exactly who you're speaking to. You probably aren't going to know all the details yet, but just have a think about the likely demographics and psychographics, and then you can just kind of fill in the blanks as you go. And once you have a general idea of who your audience is going to be, create content that's going to speak to that audience. And again, you're not going to have all the answers yet, but think about what type of content your ideal audience might find the most useful, and then create that content and just refine as you go. Now, third, choose a medium and a platform. So once you know who your audience is and what they likely want, choose the medium and the platform that makes the most sense. Is your audience more likely to read a blog or listen to a podcast or watch a video? So for me, because it was important for me to actually show my audience the various stages of how I create and sell books on KDP, I do a lot of tutorials and things like that. YouTube videos was definitely the option that made the most sense for my audience and the type of information that I was conveying. Fourth, create valuable, relevant content on a consistent basis. Once you know who your ideal audience is and what they want, start making content. Now, consistency really is key here. You want to choose a publishing schedule and just stick with it. People want to know what kind of content you offer and when to expect it. Otherwise, they're just going to forget about you super fast. Value, relevance, and consistency will build your know, like, and trust factors, which creates an environment where your ideal customers are happy and eager to buy from you, whether that's through affiliate links, your own digital products, whatever. Now, the best way I have found to be consistent is to batch create a month's worth of content that I can drip out throughout the month. So I come up with a long list of ideas, and then once a month, over the course of a few days, I create 4 scripts, then I shoot 4 videos, and then I release 1 a week for the next few weeks. Now, finally, and I think most importantly, start an email list. This is the entire reason you're creating content to begin with, to build an audience that you can have a real mutually beneficial relationship with. Now, without an email list, you have absolutely no way to capture your leads and market to your audience when the time comes. Yes, you're still going to be able to generate AdSense revenue on YouTube without an email list, and you can even generate affiliate revenue without an email list. But your email list is going to be hands down the #1 marketing tool in your business tool belt, especially when you start creating your own digital products. Now, without that list, your income generating efforts are going to be seriously hamstrung. Remember, you don't own any of the social media platforms and you don't own YouTube, so it doesn't matter how many followers you have there. If anything ever happens to any of those platforms or your accounts on those platforms and you don't have an email list, you're just going to lose all of your followers. Now, the best way to start an email list is to create a valuable free resource, aka a lead magnet, that your audience can download in exchange for their email address. And then offer that resource alongside your free content on your website, your YouTube channel, podcast show notes, social media accounts, whatever. This free resource, it can be a PDF guide, a cheat sheet, a checklist, audio or video file, whatever you think would best serve your audience. So for an example, my first lead magnet was a free guide called 3 Steps to Publishing Your First Low Content Book in Less Than a Day, which if you're watching this channel, there's a pretty good chance you've downloaded that guide yourself. Now, over the last 3 years, this guide has brought in 20,000 people to my email list. I started creating content back in March of 2019 solely for the purpose of building my email list while I was creating my digital course, Low Content Profits Academy. Without this list, there is just simply no way I would have been able to pull off that first launch as successfully as it was. So create something of value, offer it to your audience, and start that email list. If you do those 5 things, you will have created the foundation to becoming a high income earning content creator who can absolutely make $20,000+ a month. Now, does it take a lot of work? Yes, of course, but doesn't everything worthwhile? Exceptional results require exceptional effort, but if you enjoy content creation as much as I do, you're likely going to spend most days feeling like you're plugging away on a fun hobby rather than work, and you'll be working toward building a bright future for yourself, not for someone else. So if you're looking for some more help on getting started on creating content and then leveraging that content into a profitable knowledge-based online business, grab my free guide below called the 4-Step No Time to Waste Online Business Startup Blueprint. This guide takes you through all the steps of starting an online knowledge-based business, from idea generation all the way through to creating an offer and marketing it to your audience, so definitely check that out. Also check out this video next to find out how you can monetize yourself by turning your knowledge into an online business. Now check out my free online business related Facebook group, Rachel's Sandbox. You'll find a link to that down in the description below as well. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and of course share with anyone that you think might be interested. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.